Okay, so we are live. Hello, boys. Think this one should be. Okay, so today's stream, what are we doing? We are doing event bus. So I'm trying to implement an event bus in C. Let me tell you what event bus is. Let me Google what the event bus is. Can we have a simple image? Okay, so event bus. This the one? Nah. This architecture does not fit my current constraints. Like FreeRTOS does not allow these things. Yeah, general structure is this, like there is this event and anyone can post event onto the event bus, and the listeners or the handlers of events will handle itself to a certain event, and whenever the event comes, the event bus will notify its registered listeners. So yeah, so this is what I'm trying to implement, of course in C, because why not. Let's see if we are live properly. Seems like it. So where am I coming from? So the thing is, I have to implement it in an RTOS, which is FreeRTOS. So okay, so let's just start with the basics, like what do I have in mine as well as in my plate. Okay, so let's start let me share my screen with you. Initialized. Yeah, that's better. Right. So I already have this. Seems fine. Okay, so wait a minute. Better. Don't show my secrets, bro. As you can see, I've done a little bit here, but I'll start again. Okay, so if you're wondering how am I mirroring this screen, my tablet screen on my Linux laptop, because it's Apple II Linux. Okay, so the thing is, let me just give you a brief overview, like how. There's no need, but I'm going to. So there's this UX play. It's a okay, so there it is. So what it does, it lets you mirror your screen, your tablet screen, just like you can do with AirPlay, Apple AirPlay, to your Linux, Mac OS, Unix, of course. I just installed it, and once you have it installed, you can run this UXPlay. It basically starts a server, and you just do this. You do this, then you do this, and you will have this popped up here. Click on it, and you are mirroring your screen. Okay. So the thing is, I in FreeRTOS, I just say my requirement is something like this. Yes. So my requirement is this. I'm going to have multiple tasks, and I need a way to communicate between these tasks. And let me tell you, okay, so I should give a proper background. Okay, so in FreeRTOS, how do you define a task? It basically this task name atta. Why isn't it? Why am I not able to see this? What the fuck, man? So in the FreeRTOS, you have this task name, and here these things parse and argument, and in here you basically do whatever it is, and then you keep your while loop here and this. So what I can do in this, so let's just say I have this task called let's just say console, and I have another task, let's just call it this is too big. The option to resize better. And now I have this another task, let's just say void anything, man. I keep rest task. I'm thinking on the fly, so pardon me for mistake. And in this task, this is also like similar in its structure. So now how do I make these two tasks communicate? And let's just say I have some key press data. Somehow this task is able to get key press data from my keyboard, and now I have to send this key pressed key to this task. How do I do that? Is it working? Yeah, fine. And I did not check this earlier, thought it would work brilliantly, but it is not. So the one task that the FreeRTOS kernel has, FreeRTOS documentation has, is like they give you some kernel objects, and one of them, these kernel objects are queues. So there is this feature of FreeRTOS, like you can block on these queues. By block I mean you can define tasks and then define tasks and then make them block onto this queue. So for example, if I have this queue, very ugly queue, and there is some task T1, then I can, and this task T1 process data from this to this. These arrows are misleading, and so whenever this queue has some data, this task will run and my screen freezes. And if this queue is empty, then this task won't run. It will be in the blocked state. So, but by this I can communicate this key press. What I can do, like send this key press data onto this queue, into this queue, and then this task which is waiting for data to be available will run as soon as I have data into this queue. Sounds good, but this has some scaling issues. Like now this queue has to be globally shared, and it is not a very good idea to share the local resources globally, because like in this scenario, this task will post into this queue. So this task should also have the reference of this queue, and this task which is waiting for this queue will also have the reference of the same queue. For this simple example, this is fine, but tomorrow, let's just say I decide to add another task. Let's just say some logging task. And now I have to log almost everything of the system. Now what will happen is this log will get reference to every resources. In this case, every queue that is involved will also have to have some kind of reference into this. This creates quite a bit challenge. So I have to design in a way which will let me post events and get events from some central body, and this central body is globally shared. This way the shared resource is one, and it is easy to track that. And hold on a second, let me just share something. Okay. All right. It's working. So I guess you understand the problem. Okay, so what is the solution? Solution literally this guy. Okay, so how do I intend to do this? चल जा भाई. कलेश है यार पूरा. So I plan to do something like this. चल रहा है ना? I will have this queue and just say this is my event bus, and this is some task. By the way, everything is going to look similar, and this is some task. To take previous example, let's just say this is console. Similarly, this is some task, and just say LED. So now what happens is this event bus will give certain APIs, will expose certain APIs, and using those APIs, now it's freezes again. Jeez, man. So using those APIs, these tasks or any entity, external entity can post events into this event bus and can subscribe to different events. Okay, it is not working. What is the problem, man? Yeah, so those APIs will be event bus APIs. And this is like super early in the design phase, so everything is bound to change. The very first is any entity should be able to publish onto this event bus. For that, they will use this publish event, and let's just say for the time being they are pointing this event. By the way, how do you do object-oriented programming in C? Because for this, jeez, man. Because for this event bus, it will get a certain kind of event, and this event bus does not know what kind of event these different tasks can post, because they will be added later in the process, later in the application development process. So this event bus being sort of generic, not generic, sort of quote unquote framework code, not exactly framework, but you get the point. I cannot change it every time I develop something in the application layer, right? I cannot do that. And so this event has to be generic, otherwise tomorrow if I add another task of some sort, task X, then I will have to modify this event bus again, because now this event has been changed, type of event. So to do object-oriented programming in C, I can use something magical, not magical, I can use pointers. Let me give you a very brief example. By the way, I only have 30 minutes left. I intend to start coding on this. Let's see. So how do that? So let's just say I have this. To take a very simple example, I just say I have this some. Okay. Now this current example, not the simple one. Let's see the practical example. Let's just say I define this event in C structure. By the way, this is completely different from this design process. I'm just telling you how to do generic thing in C. Okay, now let's just I define a certain struct. By the way, I'm not writing C code, I'm writing C like pseudocode. So it define this event and event struct, and in this event let's just say I said usize, it only has the member ID, right? And now I make this E, and I say like E dot ID is equals to some number, this one, right? Now what happens is how would this look like in memory? And very simple thing is, my bad. Okay, so what is the size of this thing going to be? Since usize is, and I'm talking about 32-bit architecture, in that case this usize is going to be 4 bytes. So this thing is 4 byte here or 4 byte here. Let's say this is 4 bytes, right? This size is 4 bytes. Oh, thank God. I'm not looking at my laptop screen, so I might say something that you don't see. In that case, just believe me, I'm saying what I'm seeing. Anyways, so this is, I just say this is this object E. Oh man, this is this object E, and size is 4 bytes. Come on, man, redraw the screen, bro. Redraw it. The fuck is happening? I can't. What kind of thing this is? पहले ट्राई किया तो दिक्कत नहीं आई थी. So okay, now this will stores this ID here, right? Okay, this is not a very good representation because later it would be hard for you to visualize. Can do one thing. Just say this is E and this is, let's say this, I'm just calling it here ID, and right, erase this and E, this is your E. Yeah, this makes sense. And it has a base address of, let's just say, some value 100. In that case, this is how it would look in the memory. Now if I make another pointer to E, now what does this little statement do? This statement just creates a simple variable called PE. It will have some memory address, let's just say 200, right? Could be random. Mm, 200, and this is again going to 4 byte because this is a 32-bit machine. Now P does not have anything, but now PE will have something like address of E. Whenever you do this, this address is going to store in here, because for this variable this is a value. Visually, now you can say thing like this. Well, I would like to do something. Just starts with here. So now this P, E will points to here. Right? Remember this one thing. Right? So this address. Now there is this one concept where this lies. The address of E is this one, right? Now if I write some now what is the address of E dot ID? This is the whole pivotal point, more like crux of the matter or the core idea, how everything is going to work. So just remember this point, like what is the address of E dot ID? It is actually going to be the same. This 100 guy. This is the address of E as well as address of this. The only difference is the type. So when you say this, the type of E dot ID is this guy, but the type of E my bad, the type of E is event, this guy. Now based on this core idea, if I do just remember this struct and this thing in mind. Now to rewrite thing, event which had U size of ID, right? And if I do this event X and I do SU for super and some what I'm trying to do here. Just a key. Let's see, this on the fly things are so difficult, man. right. Now what do you think this memory structure of this is going to look like? So let's just draw the memory structure of this guy, then we'll draw this guy. I mean, this guy is very simple. Just like this is ID. This is event. This is ID. But but I have this also, and this encapsulates this, contains this and this. So if I extend this idea again, I'm thinking, how do I represent this? Let's just say I do this. Event x ex and e pointer will have address of ex, but I'm going to typecast it into e pointer. Now your ex is here. What happened to this? I do this ex, and ex will have su, will have key. That's it. But if I zoom in here, like here, what do you think I'm going to see? I am going to see something like this, because su is of type event, and event contains only ID. I just do that. This much was unnecessary. Or I can simply say something like the fuck, something like su itself contains ID. I mean, the point is that their addresses should not mess up. So now if you say, let's just say ex is at some address 100x, and then this is at the starting point, this is the next location. So how much size is this going to take? This is going to take only 4 bytes. So this is 4 bytes and this is, pardon me, this is 1 byte, right? So address of this is this 100, then the address of this guy will be 4 bytes down this, which is 104, and so is the 100 of this is 105, but it is not concerned. Maybe not, no. So now I have another variable, this EP has the address of EX, which is 100. Gotcha. So now this EP points to now this EP points to this at this address, like 100. But when I do this, this event star out asterisk equals to this thing. Now what happens is remember the concept, address of this and this was same thing is here. So if I pass in any system, so the crux is this, if I pass the address of my EX, which is of type this, and its first member is this, then the address of this variable and this, its first member, are going to be same. That's why I can do this and never lose any information. This is the base idea. So using this thing in mind, keeping this thing in mind, I can define my APIs. Event bus APIs. So event bus should be, entities should be published onto this event, and I can ask them to take I can ask them to give me the address of the event that they are posting. They can subscribe to any event. So I will say ID is how the events are distinguished, so I can say the event ID. And what is the handler that they are going to register, so that the event bus can call this handler whenever this event occurs. And for the time being, I don't know what this handler looks like, but we'll see later how this pan out. And I can say unsubscribe. I'm keeping these APIs similar what the PubSub model will have, but it is not a PubSub model because PubSub model is language agnostic, and the types, there are no types, everything is a string, right? So like type information is also, it is a little bit complicated than this simpler ones, and I don't want to introduce complexity if I can solve a problem by simple solution. So with unsubscribe, what is the signature of unsubscribe will look like? I don't know, so let's just put a question mark here, and then anyone can publish anyone can subscribe, anyone can unsubscribe itself, screen froze, so did my mouse. तो did it lose connection? Seriously, man? Like, what is the priority? Rope RDP mirror. Starting investing video pipeline. Warning queue destroyed by proxies still attached. Don't know what that means. I think some sort of I did not install it. I built it from sources, so maybe that's why there is issue, but that does not make sense because, or maybe there is a bug in the latest build. Could be anything. अच्छा भाई क्या यार टाइम क्लॉक. Okay, so subscribe. I don't know what does the signature of this unsubscribe will look like, but then there is another thing that I need, which is whenever there is an event, but the notify is internal. I don't need that, I think. So yeah, so let's just sudo code it. So I don't think I'll be able to code this today because I'm running out of time. So, but we can sudo code this, of course. So sudo code. This thing is just giving me Edit Pro. Is F11 or Alt Enter?